Good morning from day 160. So up there is the quantum vortex. I'm just heading out from there now. Got a shuttle back to there. They opened this year, so June. No, not June. Maybe June. Yes, because it's end of July now. Tyler and his father, No Rush. Looks like it's a wonderful hiker haven. You know, just a chill vibe. Focusing a lot on kind of, you know, the recovery and mental and spiritual and physical well-being of hikers. So wish them the best of luck in the world. If you're coming through, then I would recommend staying there. Like, I didn't stay and I kind of regret it because it seemed like it was real cool. They don't have any bunks or shelter accommodation at the moment, so it's all tenting, and that was the reason that I didn't stay there, because there was rain forecast for this whole week basically, and so the idea for me was to shelter in a hotel and make sure that all my stuff stayed dry, and rather than tenting somewhere as great as it looks up there. And I've again just been chilling up there with free coffee and so forth. But yeah, so chilling, and but yeah, so the rain it rained a bit yesterday night, and then so I know Gadget was there. Then all her stuff got a little bit wet, but then she headed out, and then it was kind of nice for the rest of the yesterday. Now there is rain scheduled from 1 o'clock-ish day, but obviously it's always different up on the mountain, so who knows. I just figure I can't really just wait. So yeah. Morning.
How are we doing?
Good, how you doing?
Doing well.
He's a lovely boy. He wants to go that way. Yeah.
He always wants to go the other way.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, again, like I say, I can't really justify in my head waiting. So, chances are I'm going to get wet a little bit today, but we'll see. Who knows? Crossing the river. So yeah, so the plan for today is not really a plan. It's just like I'm going to hike as far as I feel like I can and I want to, and then hunker down in and hopefully not get too wet. So there's a place called Gentian pond shelter in something like 11.5 miles, and then there's the Coal Spur or something shelter in something like 15 miles. But there's a couple of mountains in between. There, so I'll need to, see how the legs feel, see how I feel with all of that. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. There's been, say, weather predicted and flood warnings and stuff an issue, so we could be getting rain in the next few days. But I guess I'll just see what happens. For now, happy hiking. And God love the AT. Rewards me with an 1,800-foot climb almost right off the bat, so this will be fun. It's warm and there's bugs around. My pack's heavy. Wind. But yeah, 1,800 feet to get up. Not really looked to see, but I think it's going to be a little bit roller coastery. I met someone in at the hotel, and she's done a bunch of this before, and she was saying that this next little section, certainly up past Mahoosic Notch, is going to be pretty sucky. Yeah, climbs, puds, bogs, bugs, and then with the weather as well. So, could be a fun few days. Anyway, here we go. And I'd forgotten this was coming up. 1900. Woo! So yeah, 1900 miles, leaving me a little less than 300 to go. It's terrifying, but also exciting, but also terrifying. So this is the top of, or one of the false summits, I should say, of Mount Hayes. That first climb out, and I am, as you can see, very sweaty. It's not that the climb was necessarily super tough, but it is very humid. So I kind of missed the whites for that little bit of crispness, and hopefully now that I'm up a little higher, it'll be a little bit cooler for some of this hiking. But in typical AT style, I now do a bunch of ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. So we'll see. We'll see. There is a whole bunch of rain scheduled this afternoon and tonight. So I don't know how far I'm going to push before I hunker down. I'm tempted to go to and stop short at a shelter. So Gentian shelter, as I mentioned earlier, is like 11 miles for the day, which is not very far, but also I could probably get there by the before the heavy rain starts, and then I can maybe shelter inside and keep my tent and everything dry, so that I'm not packing that up all wet and having to carry it. So we will see. We will see. Anyway, in the meantime, I've got some boggy terrain to navigate, so I shall keep you updated. No views to speak of so far, which is a shame. It's very much like the days of old with hot, sticky, humid green tunnel action. Boo. This is what it looks like up on the top here. So it's pretty beautiful. Again, yeah, I do love these kind of rocky tops. So I go that way. Mahoosic Trail to Mount Hayes. Extra something there, 0.2. Hogan Road, that's where I started, more or less. So yeah, the Gentian Pond, 8 miles. It's a potential aiming point. So in theory, I could get there. So it's just gone 10 o'clock. In theory, I could be there maybe 2-ish. But obviously we will see what the terrain looks like, how it goes. Rain is supposedly going to start around 1-ish, so 2 o'clock I would already be getting wet. So it just depends on how wet, if I'm above tree line like this, then I'll be getting wetter than if I'm a bit lower down. But yeah, fun. Anyway, here we go. Whew. This is a hot work like this. It's not particularly taxing because it's not that high in comparison to some stuff we've done, but yeah, not bad views occasionally. A little bit grey. You can see, you know, angry looking rain clouds are around, so it's definitely expecting it to dump on me at some point. Like I say, whether or not I'm sheltered at that point or not, I think my mind at the moment is made up to stop in at Gentian shelter for lunch or a latish lunch, and see what happens with the rain. If it's not raining too much, I may push on and see if I can do another however many miles to the next spot. But again, we'll see. I might just decide to call it quits if the shelter's nice and there's room and the rain's coming down. So yeah, we'll see. Not sure, but that might be blue sky. Difficult to tell what the weather's doing, so no point making too many hard and fast plans. Again, I think I've said this before, but the best laid plans of mice and men after Gay, as Rabbie Burns once said. But also there's many a slip twixt cup and lip. Basically, planning is tough, and you've got to stay flexible and prepared to adjust on the fly, which is kind of a cool thing for life generally, I reckon. Anyway, I still might die, but this is beautiful. The cliff face, rock faces over there. Lovely. Very cool. This is beautiful. All I need now is a moose to come wandering down, and then a bear to come and for them to high five, and it'd be perfect. Not gonna happen. But still beautiful. Oh boy. What an absolutely gorgeous view. That is amazing. Shame it's a little socked in over there, but yeah, stunning. No idea what this mountain is called. You can see the clouds rolling in pretty quickly. But yeah, I'm just going to go down and then back up, I think, that little bump, and then should be downhill to Gentian, whatever. Yeah. So, still beautiful, but oh boy, don't know if it's the humidity or what. It's taking its toll on me. This kicking my ass a little bit more than some of those presidentials. Anyway. Upper Gentian Pond. Lovely. Still no moose, but it is very nice. So just leaving the Gentian pond shelter. Had a quick lunch there. It's not raining, so I've decided to push on. Also, there's a massive group of kids camping there. So yeah, I'm not sure it's the spot for me today. That might also be the problem with the I think the next one's Carlo Col in maybe a little over 5 miles. But first I've got to go over Mount Success, so let's see how that fares. If I get too tired, I may just dump into a stealth spot somewhere. But then, yeah, I will be dealing with, or almost certainly be dealing with, a wet tent. packing up, which again I've done before, not a huge problem. So, but if I make it to Carla Call, that'll be a 17-mile day, which is not crazy. But we'll see. We'll see how this how these miles fare for me. Okay, I'm up the steepest bit of Mount Success. I've still got like a mile to go to the summit, but looks like it levels out a little bit. Whew. Just when you think, oh, I'm through the white, you know, things should start getting easier. Whew. Damn. New Hampshire with another curveball with the Mahoosuc Range. So it's tough. I think Mount Success is the last of the range in New Hampshire. So Maine, I think, will be tomorrow. I've still got, like I say, just under a mile to the summit, and then probably another 2 or 3 miles to the campsite, unless I stealth up early. It's still not raining here, but there is cloud moving in as I get higher, and I wouldn't rule out the chance of rain shortly. Whew. I will show you the summit when I get there, hoping there's at least some sort of view, or at least some spectacular grey. But in the meantime, hooped. You think by now I'd learn to keep my big mouth shut. 2 minutes after, oh, it's not raining yet. It's now pouring down, just as I'm about to head onto the exposed ridgeline. Fun! Anyway, I've got about 3.5 miles to the shelter, so I'm trying to get off this ridgeline before it gets much worse. Bye! Mount Success. I mean, successfully up it, but yuck. Yuck. Wow. I'm in the final state. I'm in Maine. Okay, there's a whirlwind of emotions going on here at the moment. So excited to be in the final state. Sad that I'm in the final state. A little bit lonely. I think this is the first state I've crossed into alone. I think all the others I've been with the tramway. Well, you know, parts of the tramway at least. I don't know, maybe it's not, but it certainly feels like it. That's whew, it's a lot to process. I've got less than a mile to the shelter. The rain seems to have died off a little bit. I've had a couple of little slips because the rocks and the roots are slick. It is bad. Part of me regrets pushing on when knowing that there might be rain, or was going to be rain, but at the same point, I'm pretty glad I'm not doing all this tomorrow, when it's going to have had probably all night of raining on it, because it is supposed to rain and thunderstorm this evening, so it could make all this even worse. Now, it's going to make the Mahoosic Notch a lot of treacherous nonsense for me, but again, we'll deal with that when we can. The other option I could think of was, zeroing for a couple of days or whatever. And I wanted to get out and hike. Sitting around stewing in my thoughts this close to the end is not a good thing, I don't think. So yeah, I'd say it's been tough, but also a lot of fun. It's been a long time since I've been solo hiking for like a prolonged period. And I don't know how long I'll be solo hiking, but it's kind of nice to rediscover a little bit of that joy of just you and either a target to aim for or no target and just walk until you're tired. I usually favour the walk until you're tired approach, but with that's very much where I know what to expect, from conditions, and so somewhere like the West Island Way, where I know what I'm doing, and I'm very familiar with the route and all the options. Then I'm a bit more kind of casual with that kind of thing. This is a lot different. I have no real idea what I'm doing in now that I'm in Maine. I think the next like exit point for me is after Mahoosic Notch. Although I'm sure there's side trails I could do if things were really, really bad. But I don't know what the weather's supposed to be. I don't know how cold it's going to get tonight, because kind of in the whites, or similar sort of altitude. Well, a little bit lower. Talking nonsense. But so I don't know if it's going to be cold. I don't know how heavy this rainfall is going to be. So I think it makes sense to aim for the shelter and to shelter hop for a little bit, at least until I get comfortable with what's going on with Maine. I need to look at miles for tomorrow. I think originally I'd looked about going all the way to Grafton Notch, but I don't know if that's going to be doable, because I feel like the Mahoosic Notch is going to take a long time, with it being wet and, as they say, the toughest mile on the AT. So probably going to look at a lot shorter day tomorrow, but yeah, we'll see. For now, I want to get to the shelter and into some dry clothes.